Today we're going to be talking about a set of items that I think is positioning itself very, very well to probably have a pretty big come up at some point in the not so distant future. As you can see on the screen right now, I am talking about the Stockholm 2021 team patches. I have talked about these items before. I am invested in them a little bit, but I could definitely see myself adding to this position in the near term because I think there is so many good signs pointing in the right direction for these items having a big explosive come up again sometime in the near future. I don't know exactly when, but I do think their day will come where these things as a whole start to really go crazy. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about why I believe some of those things, of course. But first, let me plug my cash trading business. If you are looking to sell any of your CS2 items for cold hard cash or crypto or any other payment method they might be looking for, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first thing in the description below. I'm buying almost anything and everything, whether it be skins, knives, stickers, capsules, cases, agents, whatever. We can probably get a deal done. I'll buy anything for the right price. And of course, by selling to me, you're helping support me, my channel, my content, and not having to worry about anything weird going on, shady scams, anything like that, whatever. With that being said, let's get right into this today. So, like I said, we're talking about the Stockholm patches, and these things have overall in the past year not been doing so well. Here I have the Tai Lu Stockholm patch pulled up, just the regular one. Here I have the Mao's Gold Stockholm patch down 31%, Tai Lu down 21% in the past year. I have some different team patches, like the Gambit Gold, this one down 46% in the past year, whatever. But what is so good about these patches, and why would I like them if they aren't even performing that well? I will say one thing quick that you have to keep in mind, again, this moniker of buying low and selling high. At some point, you might have to buy something that hasn't been performing that well over the past year. At some point, there's going to be arguments to be made about why the market cycles, because the market does cycle all the time. People run into one area, and all the money goes into it, and all the hype and all the fanfare, and the money comes out of other areas. Well, guess what? Eventually, that hype dies down, and the money shifts to somewhere else. So, trying to predict where the market's going to go, or trying to figure out when, where, why, and how money can flow into a new area and trying to buy low is a big opportunity. Now, of course, that's very, very hard to do, and we don't ever know when or where or why or how the money is going to go to certain places, but I could say, I think with pretty strong certainty that eventually at some point the market and the money will flow into these a little bit. Now, of course, one of my main reasons for this is the craziness we have seen with patches as of late. And again, there's not that many patches in the game. I think there's only 3 patch sets right now. There is the Operation Riptide patches. There's the and the Stockholm patches. I don't even remember. Is there even a third one? I don't even know. But there's just not that many patches in the game, and that is what has been causing a lot of these patches to go pretty crazy. I think I have a tweet pulled up somewhere about all the different patches and stuff specifically, but it doesn't even matter. There's not that many patches in the game being the biggest point, and why we've seen so many of these patches going crazy. Again, the Operation Riptide patches specifically have been absolutely insane. This is in the past month. An already insanely expensive item like the Bayonet Frog patch is up 88%. In the past year, this thing is up 477%. It's almost $500 on the Steam community market right now. Again, it's going to be a little cheaper on the third-party marketplaces, but Operation Riptide patches have been going absolutely insane, and it's really all of them. This is the Deadman patch. This is actually one that I own. I don't own a Bayonet Frog. I wish I did, but Deadman up 445% in the past year, going absolutely insane. Even, I thought I had one more patch pulled up, but we can pull up, something like Mad Sushi or whatever, even some patches on the lower end, even some of the cheaper Operation Riptide patches, up 79% in the past month, up 940% in the past year. These things have been going crazy, and yes, you do have the option and the possibility of, hey, riding the wave with Operation Riptide, trying to still buy some of this stuff and hope that it continues to fly and continue to run up, but at some point, might people say, hey, I don't want to buy a $500 Bayonet Frog. I want to, throw my money into some patches or into some patches that haven't appreciated so much. And maybe people will start to look to these Stockholm patches. Now, yeah, for whatever reason, Stockholm patches don't have a ton of demand right now. People aren't super excited about them. When you get patched agents, there's not a lot of people looking for like a Mao's Gold patch or a Tai Lu Gold patch or whatever. And I don't necessarily understand that because, again, for like guns and stuff, some of these stickers are very, very cool, and a lot of cool crafts come with stickers and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like people are that hyped up for agents about that stuff right now. But like I said, right now the market is all about these Operation Riptide patches, but eventually 1,000% gains in the past year aren't going to be sustainable. And people might say, hey, I want to get some patches that haven't appreciated, haven't run up, and are maybe a little bit cheaper and a little bit better positions. And I think it could be some of these Stockholm patches because, again, they look very cool. They are unique. They are one-of-a-kind items. And Valve, I know some people are speculating, oh, Valve might bring back patches sometime, blah, blah, blah. Well, it didn't happen again for Copenhagen. So still, these Stockholm patches become one-of-a-kind items. And they're consumable items. They're applicable items. As people apply them and use them and stuff, the inventories and supplies of them overall are going down. And again, me and a lot of other people are expecting we're going to be getting some new content for CS2 at some point, a new operation, whatever. And at that point, we're going to get a lot of new patches, probably. We're going to get a lot of new agents, probably. And yes, that will increase the overall supply of patches in general, and it's going to spread out the supply of those patches and spread out the demand as well. But also, a ton of new agents, and talking just in general about getting new patches and agents is going to get people using patches and agents a lot more often. It's going to get people applying patches and agents more often, which I think is going to be less of a hit to the Stockholm collection than it is to Riptide, because Riptide is going to have more direct competition, but Stockholm is still going to be the only team patch that we have in the game. And if people just start applying patches overall for these items who don't have a ton of supply and quantity out there, I pulled up some Buff 163 stuff. We can see here, like, there's 9 Bayonet Frogs listed on Buff 163, and the Mouse Gold, there's 18. Now, hey, that's a lot more Mouse Gold than Bayonet Frogs, but overall, is 18 Mouse Gold patches on the market? Is that really that many? No, not really. We have stuff like Deadmen. There's 21 listed. Comparing that to Tyloo Gold and Normal being 30 and 36 on sale, there's not that much more of these. We have Mad Sushi that there ends up being 60 on sale. So you can see some of the cheaper stuff from Operation Riptide there's a lot more of than even some of these Stockholm stuff. And again, if you don't necessarily like the patches, you'd rather look at patch packs, I think these are also a very, very good opportunity. Obviously, the price of the patch packs is going to mirror the prices of the patches overall very, very closely. But again, these things are down over the past year, which doesn't make a ton of sense to me. In a time period where the Operation Riptide patches have been absolutely killing it and going insane and going crazy, another very, very good, unique, and interesting set of items, the major team patches, is down in the past year. This doesn't seem that to make much sense to me. It seems like patches as a whole should probably kind of ebb and flow together. Yes, I could see obviously one set of patches outperforming the other, or one being more desirable, or one being way better, but does it really make sense for one set of patches to be up 1,000% in the past year, or whatever, 800, 700, 500%, and the other ones to be down and just getting killed over the past year? Of course, also with patches, I do love when comparing these to things like borderless stickers or whatever, that you don't have to worry about a new borderless sticker coming out and wiping out your patches. Yeah, you might have to worry about that a little bit. There's the off chance it could come out with a new patch set or whatever, but it seems like Valve isn't interested in doing that and hasn't been doing that. They don't have the history of putting out a bunch of borderless stickers. They don't have that same history with patches like they do with putting out borderless stickers over and over and over again. So, again, I like all different kinds of patches. I think patches as an item are very cool. There's not a ton of demand, but there is enough demand. There's low quantities, low supplies. There's not a ton of patches in the game out there. I get the appeal. I get why they've been kind of going so insane and crazy. And again, with patches going so insane and crazy, I think eventually some of that money might flow over into the Stockholm patches. And yeah, they're just not that many out there. They're a big opportunity. I think these are something that could explode in price at some point. Again, at some point, I think some of that money is going to flow over, and these patches could end up doing very, very well. So if you do buy into any of these, whether it be the golds or the normals or the patch packs, and hold on to them long enough, I think you will be able to get a nice return. Now, again, I can't tell you guys when that's going to happen or when I think it's going to happen or whatever, but I know that I'm going to probably start accumulating some of these into a position and be ready for that day when these start to have a little bit of their own come up and comeback. Maybe not quite as crazy as the Operation Riptide patches, obviously, but I do think there will be some money flowing into these at some point in the future. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.